one of them, like I said, is playing in Twisted Sister and like 15 other bands probably tomorrow alone. And that is Mike Portnoy. Come on out here, Mike, my good buddy. And the legend, Mr. Steve Vai, is coming out here as well. Also in the Metal Hall of Fame. Yeah!
What the fuck is going on in here tonight? Yeah, I know why you guys came here to party, right? It's really quite a pleasure to be here, and I'll tell you why. I grew up on Long Island, and I was in this little rock band, and on Long Island in the 70s, there was and I'm gonna go now. There was all these great rock bands on the island, but Twisted Sister was the king. And I remember I was probably 14, 15, 16, and back then we did everything we could to get to their gig, because there was, when you went to their gigs, you were just really in for it. There was no bands that were as committed, as absolutely focused on what they were doing. They just didn't give a shit about anything except blowing up the bridge. And they did it every night, 5 nights a week usually. And when you went to their shows, you just saw confidence and energy and power. And that, for me back then, that was very inspiring. Because how do you get to see that stuff, you know, like in real life? And watching them do their thing every night, it affected us. You know, it affected me. We were a little younger, you know, and we had to use fake ID and shit. I still get carded. But to be a part of that whole culture was so powerful. And then to watch them every year grow and grow and grow, retaining that intense confidence that we all came to find as something that lit us up on the radio and on television. You could see their confidence. They owned it, man. And I remember a couple of years ago I was doing this gig in France, and they were on the bill. Twisted Sister was on the bill. And I stood on the side of the stage and I watched their set, and I felt 15 again. But how do they keep it up? I mean, they were just, I mean, you know, these guys were absolutely delivering as well as they did when I was a kid. So we're really lucky, I feel, to have this band for all these years, giving us the authentic rock and roll that they believed in, and giving it up for us all this time. I want to personally thank them, man. All right, Mike, give it up, Rick.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you, Steve. My story is similar to Steve's. I'm a few years younger than him, but in the early 80s, I used to sneak into the Long Island clubs to see the legendary Twisted fucking Sister. And back then, the drinking age was 18, and there was no pictures on the IDs, so you could just scratch off the date on the piece of paper and sneak in. So at 15 years old, I was going to see Twisted in the Long Island clubs, and they were already legendary. They didn't even have a record deal, but they were legendary players. And I remember the first time I saw them live, it was like you were part of a family and part of a cult. And it was like seeing Kiss, like these superheroes, but playing in the clubs. And just the energy, and it was incredible. You got to remember, back in the early 80s, metal was all these bands from England. You had Black Sabbath, you had Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, UFO, Motorhead. So in the early 80s, that was what metal was. And New York had Twisted Sister. And there is no debating their metal credentials. I mean, they were part of the scene that built the word that we know as heavy metal. So there's no question that they belong in the Metal Hall of Fame. And in any case, before the rest of the world found out about them through MTV and such, they had already played thousands of gigs. They were together 10 years, and they had already built up this legendary status. And fast forward to a few years ago, we lost my dear friend, the late, great A.J. Pirro. Give it up, A.J. And for me, it was an honor to step in and help these guys out for the last 2 years of touring that they did in 2015 and 2016. And there's a picture of me in my high school yearbook wearing a Twisted Sister shirt. So to be playing with them is surely an honor. But there is no better role model for perseverance and do it yourself and fuck the system, we're gonna make it on our own terms, than the legendary Twisted fucking Sister. So without any further ado, give it up for JJ French, Mark the Animal Mendoza, Mr. D. Snyder, and the families of A.J. Pirro and Eddie Ojeda, who's not here with us this evening. Who wants the mic first? We're going to first hear from the Pirro and the Ojeda family.
Hi. I'm scared.
This is A.J. Pirro's daughter, everybody. Came down to represent her dad.
I just want to say thank you to the guys for inviting me to represent my dad. I'm sorry. I wish he was here. If he was here, he would be very thankful and honored. He deserves it. And he would especially thank his family and these guys right here, and especially his fans. He loved you guys. And thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Eddie Ojeda got COVID, unfortunately, and rather infect you motherfuckers, he stayed home. This is his daughter, Michelle, who's going to speak tonight.
Yes, it's true. Eddie O, he got COVID, as the timing sucks. I'm going to speak on his behalf. My name is Michelle, and he has a speech prepared, so I'm going to read it to all you fine people right now. Thank you to Steve Vai and Mike Portnoy for presenting this award to us. To my beautiful wife, Clara, for all the years of support and being a badass woman, doing it with class. To my children, Michelle, that's me. Christopher, who's looking down on us, R.I.P., I miss you. Stephen, Francesco, Ashley, and my grandson, Levi. To my bandmates, Dee, JJ, Mark, and AJ Pirro, The Sound of Thunder. We did this together. It's been a long, hard road to ride, and a true honor to be on this journey throughout all these years as bandmates and friends. To our crew, Danny Stanton, Keith Robert, Dwayne Lazada, Johnny Methis, Rick, our sound men, George Marshall. We think of you, we love you every day. To Mike Portnoy for being such a special asset to us on our final stretch of touring. We know you made AJ proud. To my Latino brother, Rudy Sarzo, and his wife, Rebecca, your friendship and advice through the years has been an immense support to me. And most importantly, to all the SMFs around the world who have shown up and showed out over the last 40 plus years. We could not have done it without you. This is for the Bronx, baby! With love and gratitude, XOXO, Eddie-O.
Thank you, Michelle Ojeda.
Hey guys, a little bit more round of applause here for Nicole and Michelle, right? Representing. Come on. It's great stuff, isn't it? You know, this night has been a long time coming. And myself and the guys in the band, you know, we couldn't believe that it came up like this, and we actually agreed to get on stage and play. Okay? Not saying that we're enemies, because we're great friends and we're brothers in a great band. So we agreed to do this, and I hope you all are going to enjoy this, because I know you will. You're going to see something tonight that you may never see again, but who knows? We got to say, never say never. Anyway, tonight I'm honored to not only get this amazing award, I want to thank the Academy for this award. But I'm not only honored to get this great award, but I'm going to stand on this stage with Dee Snider, J.J. French, and Mike Portnoy. And I also want to thank Keith Moore for standing in for Eddie Ojeda tonight. He's a great friend and a great guitar player. But tonight is something really special, and it means a lot to me, a real lot to me, because I get to do one more time what I love to do, and that's in playing Twisted Fucking Sister. So Pat, and the Metal Hall of Fame, and everybody else who was responsible for putting this on, I thank you and we thank you. But the one thing I wanted to say is, it wouldn't be possible if all you SMFs didn't love us, okay? So right here, thank you all for being here tonight, because we love you. Enjoy what's about to happen.
Mark the Animal Mendoza! So I want to thank Steve and Mike for that great introduction. Mr. Eddie Trunk, very long history with Mr. Eddie Trunk. Some people here tonight really quick. You know, people ask me if I have a Lord and Savior. I do. His name is Phil Carson, ladies and gentlemen. He's the guy that signed us and plucked us off of Long Island, took us out of anonymity and made us what we are today. Mr. Phil Carson, back there, stand up, take a bow, whatever, without you wouldn't be done. Thank you, Phil. Also, I have to say personally, I have a friend of mine named David Schiff who's here tonight. David Schiff didn't take him to Bermuda, and situations happened in Bermuda that's just too long to get into, but it was through people I met in Bermuda that got me the audition to the band that became Twisted Sister. That's why Twisted Sister happened. And by the way, which is really interesting, is that was 50 years ago this month that this band was fucking created. Now, that basically means that that movie that you're seeing, there's a documentary on Twisted Sister called 1883. No, I'm sorry, that's Jethro Tull's documentary. Anyway, the fact is that on my first audition day with Twisted Sister, the singer at the time, the first singer, said to me, you know, we're a band that does Bowie, we do Lou Reed, we do Martha Hoople, we do T-Rex. Do you sing? And I said, no, I don't. He said, good, you can do the Lou Reed songs. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why I do Lou Reed. Now, two things I want to say. Young bands come to me all the time, and they say, hey, JJ, I want you to see my band. And I go, how long has your band been together? And they go, oh, man, 2 years. How many shows you done? We've done 50 shows. I say, you did 50 shows in 2 years, really? When you get to 500, call me and I'll see you. Why 500? Because you'll suck until you hit about 500 shows, and I don't have time to see you. And the guy goes, really? How many shows have you done? I said, well, asshole, the answer to that question is really simple. In the first 30 months of our career, we did 3,450 45-minute sets. Okay, now, D comes in, Eddie comes in, Mark comes in, we do another 4,000. So at the time we got signed to Atlantic Records, we're at 75 fucking hundred shows, okay? That's how you do it. That is exactly why this band is up here. That's exactly why you do it. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. Besides dedicating this to you and to my family and friends and all the people that stood behind us, I was thinking of one story I could tell that really can exemplify it. Now, for most of you musicians out there who've watched Spinal Tap, you know that Spinal Tap affects all of our lives, especially us, because we had 7 drummers, 6 of them spontaneously combusted. I can tell you that right now. But this is it, okay? We did our first tour to support Can't Stop Rock and Roll, which, by the way, we started recording 40 years ago next week. We did a 12-city tour in England. We're going from Sheffield to Leeds to Liverpool to Manchester to Birmingham, blah, blah, blah. And at every one of those shows, this one particular kid, they were all the people came to record signings, this one fat kid kept following us around. And he was a really obnoxious Twisted Sister fan. Fat kid, he kept following us around. Every time we did an in-store, this fat kid would show up, and people would say, this kid's obnoxious, he's in everybody's face. Every city that fat kid shows up. We finally get to London for the last show at the Lyceum after being on top of the pops, because we have a hit record, I Am, I Mean. We get to the HMV in Marble Arch, and there's nobody standing outside. Like, I went, oh shit, maybe they're inside. It's a big store. Well, if you watch Spinal Tap, you remember that scene with Paul Schaefer when he fucked up the whole in-store? And he goes, kick my ass, I fucked up. Well, this promotion guy fucked up. Nobody showed up, but then that fat kid walks in the back door. I was never so fucking happy to see that fat kid. And he's walking towards us. And as he's walking towards us, 3 people walk up to us. We're all behind the counter with Sharpies. And 3 people have 3 albums, and they think we're fucking salesmen. They got a Flock of Seagulls record, they got a Culture Club record, they got a Spandau Ballet record, and they want us to check out. And that kid said, "They're not cashiers, they're Twisted fucking Sister!" So to that fat kid, who's now 55 to 60 years old, this award is dedicated to you, because you are not, and we are not cashiers. We are Twisted fucking Sister!